As the tobacco industry, it is a fact that we have a low credibility due to our past.
For me, when I joined the company, it was obvious that smoking was not good for your health. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't look into it and that you shouldn't try to create a better world for people which would like to continue enjoying tobacco products.
Well, I think it's the right thing to do, simply speaking. I mean, with our vision, eventually cigarette will disappear.
My name is Jacques Zuber, and I have no job, as I am a retiree. When I joined back in '81, people wanted to know, will that be okay for you to work for that industry? Like many other of my colleagues, we were highly motivated by the idea that this time we would be working on what we thought should have been the main purpose of an R&D in the tobacco industry.
Can you develop something that I can have pleasure, satisfaction to use? When somebody is offering you that possibility, I mean, you jump on it.
Obviously, I was very in love with what I was doing in the tobacco biology part. It was obvious to me that we need to make a radical change. It's not by a small filter we're going to make this new product.
Suddenly somebody realized that I had a PhD in physical chemistry, so I was approached. Hello. He didn't finish his sentence and I said yes. What's happening today? You're filming me. I've been with Philip Morris for 20 years, believe it or not. All these toxicants, or most of them anyway, they come from combustion. So if we were to be able to develop a product where no combustion takes place and we heat tobacco instead, we could potentially produce an aerosol with much less toxicants that will reduce the risk compared to smoking. Bonjour. On a des IQOS en test. The other element we always look at is the sensory aspect.
We know it is possible to generate the aerosol. We don't know if it is possible to generate a pleasant aerosol. Several hundreds, if not several thousands of people have tried to crack that question.
At the beginning, obviously we had all that experience from cigarettes. But then moving to a product which was not burning anymore, then, okay, you have to start basically from scratch.
If you heat that tobacco, essentially nothing will happen but see a little bit of steam and then maybe a little bit of smell. And all of a sudden, it catches fire.
So we went way further in looking into cigar tobacco, the pipe tobaccos. And then when we figured out that other tobaccos were even worse, then there must be something which also makes it taste better.
And one day we had a major breakthrough in terms of the sensory test came back extremely positive, almost to the same level as the cigarette. And for us, it was like, yes.
I tell you that you rush out, you celebrate, major step forward.
Yeah, I think we can go up to the third floor where we have the electronic labs. Maybe we can have a look on some initial prototypes.
Research teams came together from the tobacco side and then from the device side.
Product development is all about creativity. Historical sweet case, if you want.
What were projects when I left? The evolution of them is obviously of high interest to me.
At the end of the day, when you spend hours with your engineers or scientists, that's where you have most of the reward.
Yeah, of course, I look forward to meet them again because you create ties that never break.
Hey, good to see you.
Good to see you, man.
How was that?
Good. What the hell you carry on?
Well, that's what we did. So you may remember this
That
is
still
one.
exists. I was almost young. That's the one that showed the way. And that's the one we had to kill first.
Yes.
Like any product, it goes through iteration.
It's bulky because we have a very big battery. So can we separate the two?
You have a first idea, it's a lab prototype.
Here on the technology side, you demonstrate that it is possible.
So it's the heating blade. That's really the heart of the system.
And then you have to make it into a product. But the big step was this compared to this.
The level of motivation was just unbelievable. A lion would have come across, we would have eaten it.
The first industrial design.
I first saw it after my retirement.
Ah, yeah, probably. Yeah. And finally, the last version.
It's the first time I see them all in the same place.
Yeah. Something we had to do not only for the company, not only for us, but for the smokers. 10 years back, I was telling people, one day People will be queuing up in the street, and well, that one day became true. Jean-Claude sent me that video. I tell you, almost as right now, tears in my eyes. I mean, it's so. You can't believe how this was important to us. Those ideas that we had 20 years ago, at some point in time, become so important in your life, you can never let them go. It's like children. Hopefully it's the same for you folks.
I'm honestly very proud. And I think the huge amount of people which now make it bigger, they are also part of it. Yes, and I think as a company, we are achieving something which personally I didn't see before. But that's very corporate. Ask me some questions about my passion for plants.
I mean, I think it's more than a big shift. It's call it a revolution, a transformation. It's a complete redesign of the organization towards this new objective, which is a smoke-free future.
Yeah, I mean, when I tell people or my family what I do, I'm always proud of saying almost my entire career was dedicated to trying to reduce the risk of smoking. And my kids are quite proud of that. Merci, et désolé pour l'intrusion.